Today's lesson will cover the importance of hydration and how to determine which beverage options are the best choice to fuel your body. This curriculum was developed by Drexel University's Eat Right Philly program. The program is funded by the USDA Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program Education, also known as SNAP-Ed, through the Pennsylvania Department of Human Services, DHS. You may think that a balanced, healthy lifestyle is only based on the food and activity choices that you make. However, your beverage choices matter too. When choosing which beverages to drink, it's important to consider the nutrients that are in them. Many beverages contain high amounts of added sugars with little to no other nutrients. Today, we're going to focus on beverages and learn how to choose drinks that help to keep your body hydrated and healthy. Take a moment to imagine a situation where you might be stuck somewhere and there's no water or any other beverages to drink. How long do you think that your body could survive without any fluids? If you said 2 to 3 days, you'd be correct. In fact, 60 to 70% of the body is made up of water. Water is vital for many basic functions of the body, including disposal of waste through urine and sweat, cushioning and protecting the joints, and assisting in body temperature regulation. Choosing to stay hydrated with water is choosing to help your body function properly. Without an appropriate amount of fluids, you'll eventually begin to feel the impact of dehydration. Dehydration, which is simply a loss of fluids, is impacted by the fluids lost through urine, breathing, and sweat, making it difficult to detect lost fluids. To avoid dehydration, how might you determine the amount of fluid to consume each day? Well, a good rule of thumb is to take your body weight, divide it by 2, and aim for that number of ounces. Keep in mind that this rule does not consider that every day is different and that there are some days when you may need more. What are the instances where you feel you might need to drink more water? Well, heat exposure and prolonged physical activity will be instances where your fluid needs will be higher. A higher intensity or longer duration of physical activity can cause an increased loss of fluid. Do you know the signs and symptoms of dehydration that someone may experience? Thirst is a key sign of mild dehydration. In fact, if you feel thirsty, it's a sign that you're already dehydrated. Beyond thirst, another sign is urine color. Urine should be pale yellow. When urine is a darker yellow, our body is saying that we're dehydrated. Some other signs and symptoms include headaches, fatigue, dizziness, lack of concentration, and even difficulty breathing. Be mindful and listen to your body's cues. It might be telling you to drink more water. There are several beverage options that a person can consume to stay hydrated. What options do you choose to stay hydrated during the day? If your school has vending machines or you tend to bring your own drinks to school, choosing beverages that contain little to no added sugars can be a great way to support you during the day. Water can be a great option to keep you hydrated and focused during the school day. If your school has a bottle filling station, this can be a great way to stay hydrated as well. The water is filtered and it's tested to ensure safety for consumption. Just be sure that water is collected from specifically the bottle filling station and not from a sink. Bring a reusable bottle and enjoy filtered water throughout the school day. Whether in or out of school, carrying a reusable water bottle to sip on throughout the day is a great way to stay hydrated. Another helpful tip is to have water with meals throughout the day. Do you find that you tend to prefer tap or bottled water? With easy access to content on social media, you may find yourself confused at times about the differences or even maybe the safety of tap versus bottled water. While some may prefer one or the other, remember that ultimately the choice is yours. To build your confidence in choosing an option that works for you, let's learn some of the facts on both. In Pennsylvania, the Department of Environmental Protection regulates public water supplies and bottled and bulk water under the Pennsylvania Safe Drinking Water Act. However, it does not regulate private residential wells. Municipal tap water is filtered, it's treated, and it's tested. In the city of Philadelphia, you can examine testing results by visiting phila.gov and searching drinking water quality. In some areas, tap water may contain fluoride. This is just a mineral that helps to reduce the formation of cavities. Whether fluoride is in the water or not is determined by the municipality. For some, fluoridated water could be a benefit, but for others, it may not be a necessity. Bottled water, which is regulated by the FDA, as a packaged food, is also filtered. It's treated and it's tested, but usually it does not contain fluoride, unless it has been added by the manufacturer, but this isn't a common practice. Some bottled water options may contain minerals or other added carbonation. Both tap and bottled water can help meet your fluid needs. However, keep in mind that bottled water is more expensive and can have other environmental impacts. Overall, it's always best to check the label of bottled water. Some bottled water is simply tap water that's bottled from another city. Look at the label on your bottled water. You may notice that it mentions where the water is sourced from. We know water helps keep us hydrated, but what are some other ways to stay hydrated? Luckily, fluid intake does not just come from drinking water. On average, 80% of fluid needs are met through water and beverages. However, the other 20% comes from foods. Your fluid needs are met from a variety of beverages and foods. Beverage options might include 100% juice, a fruit-flavored drink, milk, flavored milks, coffee, tea, unsweetened tea, or even a sports drink. Fruits and vegetables actually have a high water content and can also provide a significant amount of fiber, vitamins, and/or minerals. For instance, cucumbers have a water content of about 96%, whereas strawberries, on the other hand, are about 92%. If you take a look at the image on this slide, you'll see that some fruits and veggies have a large amount of water in them. There are many beverage options available to us, but how do we determine which option is the best choice? For many, this is going to depend on your goals. For someone looking to quench their thirst and stay hydrated, water is a great option. Consider the environment or even the situation that you're in. For instance, when you're in the classroom, the best beverage choice would be water since you're not using too much energy. Water itself doesn't provide any calories for energy. If you're regularly active or sweating quite a bit, sipping on a sports drink can help to replace fluid and electrolytes that are lost in sweat. Someone that might be in a hurry may choose to have a smoothie as a quick way to fuel their body, but also stay hydrated. The key is to be mindful of our choices. Just like food, beverages can vary. Some drinks like sweetened iced tea or soda, they can give us a quick burst of energy from sugar, but they don't have many nutrients that our body may need or benefit from, like protein, healthy fats, or vitamins. Nutrient-dense drinks like smoothies with yogurt and fruit or milk in fortified shakes, these pack more of those nutrients into a smaller serving. That can be helpful when you're busy, not super hungry, or maybe you just need a quick source of energy. It's good to know that because these drinks are more concentrated. They also contain more energy in a smaller amount, so it's easy to drink more than you might realize. Learning about these differences can help you decide what kind of drink works best for you. Whether you're looking for a quick boost, something filling, or just something to enjoy. Choosing wisely can help us to meet the body's needs and help to promote good health. So, when it comes to determining the best beverage options for yourself, do you know what things to look for? Remember that what is healthy for one person might not be healthy for another. Let's jump in and look at the nutrition facts label. This will help us to identify important nutrients found in the drink to determine if it's the right one for you. So the first place to start is the serving size. You're going to want to check the serving size and compare it to the amount of the beverage that you consume. For instance, a 20-ounce bottle of soda may have a serving size of 8 ounces, 20 ounces, or some other amount. This is important because all of the other nutrition information on the nutrition facts label, such as calories, protein, and so on, are going to be based off of the serving size that's listed on the label. Next, let's take a look at the servings per container. If the serving size is not the entire bottle, you should check the number of servings per container. If you were to consume more than one serving, remember to multiply information on the label by the number of servings that you consume. When it comes to calories within a beverage, this can vary widely. Look for beverages that have little to no calories, like water, or choose those that have more nutrients, such as calcium and vitamin D. The Dietary Guidelines for Americans suggest limiting our saturated fat intake to less than 10% of total calories. In general, beverages that contain saturated fat are milk or dairy-based drinks. So when choosing milk or milk alternatives, select a low-fat or fat-free milk or fortified soy milk. The nutrition facts label will also highlight certain vitamins and minerals that are important for our body. If a food or drink contains several important nutrients and is lower in calories, it is a nutrient-dense choice. You may notice that many beverages contain sugar. Some items contain naturally occurring sugars while others contain added sugars. Added sugars provide quick energy, increasing the calories in a beverage and often not providing essential nutrients. The Dietary Guidelines for Americans suggest that added sugars be limited to less than 10% of daily calories. For instance, if someone consumed a 2,000 calorie diet, that would be 200 calories, which would equal 12 teaspoons of sugar. Now that you've identified added sugars in a beverage, you can find specific sugars listed on the ingredients list. It can be helpful to familiarize yourself with different names for sugar to make it easier to know what is in your beverage. Are there any sugars on this list that look familiar to you? You may also notice that some beverages have sugar substitutes. These are sweeteners that are used in place of regular table sugar. There are two types of sugar substitutes, natural and artificial. Natural sweeteners are found naturally in whole foods. Some natural sweeteners are found in fruits and vegetables, and these are known as glucose and fructose. Other examples of natural sweeteners are found in fruit juices and nectars, honey, molasses, and maple syrup. The other type of sugar substitute, artificial sweeteners, are created in a lab, and the result is a product that adds sweetness with little to no calories. Some examples are acesulfame potassium, saccharin, aspartame, and sucralose. By now, you may have concluded that these sweeteners are often used to make diet beverages taste sweet without providing calories. At this point, you may be wondering, are sugar substitutes the best option for you? For some individuals, sugar substitutes can be helpful. For those trying to reduce their sugar intake, as well as those with health issues that may require them to monitor their blood sugar, substitutes may be their best choice. In order for you to make the best decision for yourself, it's important to understand the potential risks with sugar substitutes. New science suggests that there are possible long-term effects of using artificial sweeteners. These sweeteners first became available over 40 years ago, and we are just now starting to see research on the long-term effects. Although some may think that these sweeteners are healthier and may indulge at times, it's still important to be mindful of overall eating habits. Practicing mindfulness will assist in reducing consumption of added sugars. At this time, the Dietary Guidelines for Americans does not suggest the use of artificial sweeteners to help control weight, and studies do not show a long-term benefit in controlling obesity. It's important to know that for those persons with diabetes, artificial sweeteners can be a helpful option in controlling blood sugar. Now, let's take a look at all of the beverages on this slide. Can you identify which beverages are nutrient dense? Drinks like 100% fruit juice, smoothies, and milk are considered nutrient dense because they give your body important things it needs, like vitamins, minerals, protein, and healthy carbohydrates, all in one drink. Even though they can have natural sugars and calories, they also come with a lot of nutrition. What about energy drinks? Are these something that you consume regularly? Energy drinks might give you a quick boost from caffeine and added sugars, but they don't provide the lasting fuel or key nutrients your body really needs. Even if they have added vitamins like B12 or C, they usually don't include important nutrients like protein, which helps build muscles, calcium and vitamin D, which support strong bones, or healthy carbohydrates and fats, which give your body energy that actually lasts. That's why energy drinks aren't considered nutrient dense. They're high in stimulants, but low in the kinds of nutrition that help your body grow, recover, and stay healthy over time. What about water? Although most waters contain no additional vitamins and minerals, it is a nutrient itself and always a healthy choice that will support your body every day. Do you think that any of these beverages contain added sugars? Some drinks may contain a combination of natural and added sugars. For example, flavored milk or a smoothie. The Dietary Guidelines for Americans suggest that beverages with added sugar be limited in the diet to help provide a healthy balance. Simply put, these are beverages that we want to be mindful of when it comes to the frequency of our consumption of them. Now that we know how to read a nutrition facts label, let's put that skill into practice. Take a look at the image of the nutrition facts label for this 20-ounce beverage. We're going to explore whether this beverage is nutrient dense, meaning that it's going to give our body a lot of helpful nutrients, or if it's mostly offering quick energy without much long-lasting nutrition. Do you recall where we want to start when we're looking at the label? That's right, the serving size. This label indicates that the serving size is one bottle. And since this label indicates that the serving size is one bottle, you will notice that it does not list servings per container. We already know that for this container, it is considered as having one serving. As a reminder, the calories on the label pertain to the serving size listed on the label. Since this item indicates that one bottle is a serving size, we know that there are 240 calories in this one bottle. So let's take a look at the sugars. You may have already noticed that the total sugars are the same as the added sugars. This means that this beverage only contains added sugars. Now, I don't know about you, but when I see 65 grams of sugar, I don't know what to make of that. Is it a lot? Is it a little? So in order for us to make more sense of this, we're going to convert 65 grams of sugar into teaspoons. Once we do this, you can literally measure out the teaspoons of sugar to see what this looks like. And the best part is that you can use this calculation to visually see how much sugar is in any food or beverage. So let's get to work. There are 4 grams of sugar in 1 teaspoon. For context, a sugar packet has about 1 teaspoon of sugar. Now grab your calculator or a pencil and paper, and let's do a little bit of math. In order to convert our 65 grams of sugar into teaspoons, we're going to divide it by 4. This will give us our teaspoons. Did you get 16.25 teaspoons? Okay, so to measure this out, you're going to measure out 16 teaspoons of sugar, and then you're going to grab a 1/4 teaspoon, since 0.25 equals 1/4 of a teaspoon. What do you think? Is this going to be a lot or a little bit of added sugar? For someone with a regular soda habit, the sugar adds up quickly. This is also not considering the other foods and drinks that someone might consume that contain sugar. For someone drinking 1 20-ounce cola each day for a week, that would equal an entire pound of added sugar. I encourage you to grab your favorite beverage. Identify each of the parts of the nutrition facts label that we reviewed today and share what you learned. Awareness is always the key to mindfulness. Today, you became equipped to make smart drink choices and understand what's really in your beverage. With that enhanced knowledge of reviewing a nutrition facts label and identifying sugar substitutes, you are now an expert in making mindful choices for your health.